Hello, Joe. We've got your engine rebuild in process, and right now we're going to check out your carburetors so we can get a jump on those. And some of the things we've found and corrected are the following. This is the throttle bracket that goes across goes up here on across the carburetors, and I have no idea why this was cut out. It's not supposed to be cut out. As you can see, this one's not cut out. And I don't understand about this here. They I don't know why they butchered it. And they also put these goofy Heim joints on there, and so we're going back to all original like it's supposed to be in the first place. And now we're going to run your carburetors and check them out and see what we've got to work with here. Let's make sure we can see the numbers here. Okay. We're going to, now first thing we're going to do is check the choke, and as you can see we operate the choke, and this one is actually sticking, so we're going to have to deal with that. And so let's undo these and let's see what we got here. This one, this one's okay. This one is not. This one's sticking. It should return like the other one did. So we got to figure out what's going on there. Now we tie these together so that the airflow coming in won't close this choke. And I'm going to check, make sure we got fuel up to the carburetors. That's why the priming lever is on the pump, fuel pump. You'll need to do this if the car sits for more than a couple of weeks probably. Now then, let's see, get the battery connected. Okay. And see if we can get this thing to light off with a partial operating choke. Switch on. Well, let's see, before we do that, I'm going to do is I've got to get this thing warmed up before we can check any adjustments, and so it's going to be a couple of minutes to get this thing warmed up. Alright, so back on the choke. Oh, that's another thing. Well, alright, I keep finding other things to mention. Okay, this choke lever here, this choke lever right here is supposed to operate this lever. You got a choke lever here, you got a lever goes down here, connects to this rod right here, and what happens when you pull the choke, this is supposed to move, and that is what it's actually doing, is opening the throttle, and that's what gives you your fast idle for cold engine operation. So this is not set up correctly. This is supposed to move more than it's doing there, so we will correct that as well. Also, the throats of the carburetors were sleeved, and then looked like used butterflies were put back in there. And one of the things that we do to check the fit of the throttle plate, the butterfly, to the throat of the carburetor is to look through it at the sun and see what kind of light is coming in around the butterflies. And unfortunately, it's a fair amount of light is coming around. Especially the second barrel of each carburetor. You want those to be as air and light tight as possible. But unfortunately, these carburetors, the machine work was not done very well. So I'm not sure what we could expect. All right, so switch on, carburetor choke on. Come on. There we go. You see, we're getting a little movement here, which is your fast idle, which you can see, or you can hear. I'll act as the fast idle. We get warmed up. open up. There we go. Alright. Temperature's dropping, coming down to normal. The thermostat is open. Let's go back to our carburetors. See what we got. Okay, can you see that? Let's get this where you see something. Alright, in order to adjust these things, we need to have them disconnected from linkage so that each carburetor is running individually. You hear the RPM drop, it means the linkage wasn't adjusted all that correctly. Now then, what we want is for the second barrel of each carburetor to close as much as possible. When we do the machine work here, we get them, they will close, the airflow reading will be down around 1, 1.5. The factory setting is 2, 2.5, give or take. So let's see what we got here. A little bit above 2.5 over here. And this one's all the way up to 3. So let's see if that, what happens if I push on the second barrel, on the, turn this around here. I'm going to push on the counterweight. So you can see the butterfly fit is the issue. So butterflies were not machined properly. Alright, so now what we need to do is to check over here, see if the same thing holds true. This one's out, well, this one's up to 3. Pushing on the counterweight here. Brings it down to 2. A little bit of difference. Alright, now what we got going on here is checking our airflow out of each carburetor, first barrel. We want them to be uniform. So right here we got 4.5 approximately. Right here we got 5. So we will adjust. Let's tell you what, let's do. Let's get this one up a little bit more. This barrel here we're going to adjust so we have more airflow coming through to match the other one. We're at 5. We're at 5. Okay, good. Now then, what the next thing we're going to do is adjust the idle mixture screw. So adjust the, move the camera into position here. Alright, idle mixture screw right here. I'm holding on the throttle linkage so it maintains a normal closed throttle. And what we want to do is to adjust these things in and out to where we get the best running of the engine. As you screw it in, the engine should die. As you screw it out, the engine should die. And what you do is get the midpoint where the engine's running the best. Well, that's screwed in all the way. The engine should have died. Now let's bring it back out. Now you can hear the engine degrading, the idle degrading. I screwed out all the way so you can really hear it. Alright, so now we're going back in. That should have killed it. Alright, so let's back it out. Get the best running that we can. So basically what we've got is no adjustability here. Not much, not enough to worry about. Alright, let's go over here to the other carburetor. Can you see that right there? Yeah, okay. Let's screw this one down. Oh snap, it was already down. It was like half a turn, quarter turn. Back it out. Engine's starting to degrade. Again, this is supposed to kill the engine when I push it screwed in all the way. Alright, so we've got no real adjustability. Now let's hook up the linkage here. Your job is to adjust it where you snap it and it doesn't change the idle. Nope, that wasn't it. There we go. Well, appreciable change in idle. Now we need to accelerate it and see how it does. Make sure it doesn't pop or snap back, pop at us, which is a lean burn, and we need to open the air, idle mixture screws a little bit more. A little hesitation there, it could be an accelerator pump. Let's open these up just a little bit. Transition from off idle is just not where it's supposed to be. Open these up a little bit more, see what happens. Nope, it's getting worse. Making a transition from idle to higher RPM. Okay. Well, what can I say? They'll work. They're not the greatest, but they will work. They just don't have much adjustability, and off idle is got a little stumble there. Anyway, at least we know we can use them to run your engine. Thanks, Joe.